Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. This is, after an entire year of doing this is exactly 1 year from our second video. We are going to be reviewing-ish a product that is kind of cool.
That's right, folks. This is for all you Dungeons and Lasers fans out there.
Also, maybe talk a bit louder, please.
Having trouble with the clear pieces. I've seen a lot of nightmare stories online. A lot of people are having trouble clipping these pieces and having parts chip, crack, and break. I had one break. It was heartbreaking. One of the long water pieces. Let me see if I can. Right here. No, that's not one of the long pieces. But one of the really long pieces I talked about.
Holy water?
Yeah, the full long water pieces that's just pure water, and there's not enough of those pieces in my opinion. But I had one break right at the connection point because I was clipping the sprues as gentle and careful as possible, but it still broke, and I might not even be able to attach the connectors underneath to connect it to another piece. I'm hoping that it'll still work. I haven't tried it out yet because I got pretty upset. Then I remembered we got this new toy. Not really a toy, it's a really incredible tool that you might have heard me talk about doing it the old-fashioned way in one of our last videos where I was using an X-Acto knife and a candle and heating up the X-Acto knife to cut Freyer's lightning pieces and some of his other clear plastic pieces.
Like what he used to spoon.
No. And it took me extra hours to slowly heat up the X-Acto knife until it got hot enough to where it would melt through the plastic. So we got ourselves a hot knife from Walnut Hollow. I've seen other hot knives. I got this one from Hobby Lobby, but there's another one sold at Walmart for about $5 cheaper. You know, get what you can if you like what you see here. This one comes with a case, a whole bunch of accessories, including a piece that allows it to become a soldering iron, some stamps, some engraving tools of different sorts, and there's also another set of tools that allow this to become like a leather stamp where you could, wood burn or leather burn, the letters of the alphabet into things, which is kind of cool.
Well, they don't have to be the letters of the alphabet.
Well, but it is. It comes with the letters of the alphabet.
Oh, really? It does?
Yeah, and some other symbols like exclamation points and things like that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool additional set to add to this.
Is it? Actually, no, I probably shouldn't make that joke.
Yeah. I also got some extra blades because I've already, this blade's still good, but it doesn't look good. And so for the video, I wanted to, use a brand new blade to show you exactly what you can accomplish with this tool. It's already heated up. Be very careful when you use this. It also comes with this little stand right here. Watch out, you almost got burned there, buddy. This little metal thing, and it literally says in the instructions, tape it to your table. If that isn't, the hokiest stand I've ever seen, I don't know what to tell you folks. But before we get started, we have a couple of safety precautions. Normally I wouldn't do this indoors, but we're not videotaping in my garage, sorry folks. We've got the fan going to blow the smoke that it will create, the toxic.
So if you hear that, it's not very toxic. Well, I don't know. If you hear that,
if you were to suck it in with a straw, I'm pretty sure you'd end up in the hospital.
Yeah, but are we doing that?
We are not doing that tonight, no.
Yeah,
So,
it's a knife.
Before we get started, let's mask up.
Because it's that time of year.
I hope you guys can hear me through this mask. There are better masks out there.
I think that they were able to hear you in the
we were outside too.
The second video that we ever made, which was coincidentally exactly 1 year ago.
August 10th.
That video, or they were able to hear you.
Okay. So.
And there was also wind.
I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm not going to cut right next to the piece. Okay, I'm going to cut about 2 millimeters away. And you can do a little sawing motion if you're impatient. Or you can just let it melt through.
The one problem is when it...
Yeah, you want to be careful not to touch the other pieces on either side because, you know, you could
I've
make a
accidentally
little
melted
extra work
guys
for
in
yourself.
half.
Yes.
It was the Crimson Hand guy. I accidentally just...
Yeah, that was the mishap we were talking about, and there you can see some of the smoke coming off from the melted plastic.
It's not a spoon or a straw.
And we'll just go through here again.
Did you melt anything that you
No.
shouldn't?
It was too fast.
The one issue that I can see happening quite often is once it finally cuts through,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. So you want to be very careful and hold it steady. And then I gotta...
We can probably stab into something, but I don't think that's very good for the blade.
Yeah.
For anyone.
I have a couple of things in the background that are making it a little hard for me to see properly. The table cover is sort of messing with my vision. I should probably pull this back a little. There we go. Can you see that, folks? Just lickety split, boom, boom. And is that? Oh, there's one more. Boom. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this off for a second. You see there's some leftover sprue here, okay? And there's a lot of ways you could tackle this situation, but once again I'm going to go with my immensely trusted, cheapest tool on the planet. You can literally get these with a bunch of other tools for your nails for $1. I've had this one for a long time. Now the gap here, some of them that you'll find the gap just isn't wide enough, so you might want to look for the widest gap. You might bring a ruler with you or something, I don't know. But to get these little leftover sprues, boom. I don't know where it went, don't really care.
What if the dog eats it?
If he does, then he's as dumb as I've given him the credit for. Okay, and feel that sport.
You can feel it?
It's pretty smooth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a little sanding is not going to hurt.
Yeah, you probably should still sand it.
Right, I'm gonna. Okay, the corner one is always a little tricky because it's a corner, and you probably might even be better off just filing this part down, but I'm gonna go with the clippers anyways. Boom, boom. And there we have it. No chance of cracking on this in any way, shape, or form. I suppose you could get really unlucky when you're doing the clipping of the last part, but there's so little tension being produced that you should not have an issue. Now, I am going to cut out. I'm going to cut out a couple of the connectors real quick.
They are the most fragile.
Right.
Well, I think.
Yes. Same thing. Let me get my mask on just so nobody freaks out.
I mean, it's still... Yeah.
Just because I'm going to have my face right in there. And
that's true, actually.
the stuff doesn't smell good. I'm not going to lie.
Oh.
But...
For me, it does. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's awful.
Okay, let me pull this back so I have the black. But, you know, just keep it as far away from the piece as you're comfortable with. Start at the top and work your way down. That way there's no issues. And when I get done with this piece, I'm going to show you another neat little trick. Mask is falling off. Was it this one that I did? Yes. Okay. Just I'm really close. You will probably want to wear your magnification goggles of choice when doing this, just so you don't.
Big ones.
Whatever you have. Let me see this real quick. Now, again with these clippers, because they're curved, they're really good for these edges right here. They're almost perfect.
I mean, better than most people.
Yeah.
I will. So.
And there you have it. A little bit of sanding, and I mean just a little bit, because you do want to have a little tension when you're putting these in. I suppose I could probably fit it in right now. It's real hard to see these things, but no, it's got a little the leftover. It does need to be sanded. I don't want to push it. And one last tip with the clear pieces, since these are the most fragile, when you assemble your pieces, be gentle, be patient. More patient than gentle. You know, because sometimes you do kind of have to stick these in. When it comes time to take them out, just pull here. I'll show you again. Don't pull here. Pull here. Can you see that? Pull like that. That way you're, again, giving as little opportunity for it to break in the middle or break at the circle, the holes.
Or any of that.
Yeah, because there's just, once again, there's really not enough of these connectors in clear per sprue.
And they also break a lot easier.
Yeah, and you know, you break 2 or 3 of these, and it's going to limit what you can design in the way of your dungeon builds. So there's that. Now the little guy wants to try his hand at a piece that a regular. Remember, I told you, hold it like a pen.
Oh, yeah.
Hold it like a pen. That's not how you hold a pen. No. Put
I
your hand under.
I know.
Put your hand under. There you go.
I know how to hold it.
Well, you could have fooled the audience.
Okay. You know how I...
And not so close to the paper because you don't want to go through the paper.
Yeah.
I marked these sprues with what I thought were the best places to make the cuts. This is the fairy dragon, and it's the last piece from one entire set of stretch goals that I've yet to complete. I'll have them ready by next week, I'm hoping. But just back and forth, and you're not in a hurry. And this, when you do your sprues, look for places like this where you can cut the sprues apart as opposed to going right at the pieces, because the little guy...
By the way, don't let this happen.
It's hot there too?
Yes, that's what I mean. When I said I melted something in half, with this. It wasn't just a cut in half, no. It
was the actual rod.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and don't hold it so close to the table, because you want to have some room in case it does go through from the pressure. And you don't want to use this hot knife anywhere near your really fragile pieces. Maybe some of the brick walls and things like that. You know.
Well, I mean, what do you mean by fragile?
Like little pieces like this, like a miniature of a character, like.
Well, yeah.
You
then why are we using it then?
Well, because this way I'll be able to cut through the plastic instead of trying to use clippers, which could break the pieces when you're trying to just break the sprues.
Yeah. It's just.
No. You just keep going with the cut. Don't pull it back out, because when you do that, you give it the opportunity to cool.
Well, I just don't want it to
hit the piece.
Yeah, I realized I should have gone at it from a different angle.
Yeah, or maybe even go at it at an angle. So that
I did that eventually.
Okay.
Yeah,
just keep when you make your decision which way you're going to go, don't stop until you're done, because you just let all that plastic cool off, and you're just going to have to recut through that.
Oh.
Just pull it apart. There you go. Now pull the rest of that piece and show do those last 2 cuts, and then we'll go on to the last part.
Yeah. Now this one I'm not as worried about
because you're going the other way.
Yeah. Which
you might want to try to do that at all.
Yeah, I would always recommend that you go at it from the opposite direction.
And cut away from the actual pieces.
Yeah, you want to, just like when you are
cutting away from yourself with an X-Acto knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now let's make an imaginary line right there and cut that.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
Okay. No. Right diagonal right there.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's so that they can see and you won't cut into the table. because I know the paper will not burn real fast, but because it is sharp, if you go into the table, that's not going to be pretty. No, but didn't go all the way through.
That's weird.
There we go.
There's more connections.
Yeah, let's do. What do you think?
I think. Wait. So.
What's holding it together?
It's these two.
Yep.
So we can't cut that apart.
That's okay. They got the idea. This will give you a lot more flexibility, and even if you want to go in with your clippers, because you made these cuts here, it relieved a lot of the tension. A lot of the tension is gone now. So when you like make a cut here with your regular clippers,
probably.
You want to try it? Okay.
I'm gonna do right here, cause then.
You won't cut the piece.
Yeah, well, the thing I'll hit will be another piece I want to cut off
Right.
anyways.
Okay.
But, I mean, I did this both times. I ended up melting a miniature in half. But, well,
Yeah.
actually, no. One time it was a miniature, one time it was a rifle.
Yeah, and it was a Shadows of Brimstone piece, which you can imagine my disappointment.
Yeah.
Just because
Same here.
you can't buy one piece. Out of a
Okay,
single.
and... Oh, I know why it's not. I think it's... Oh, no. That's weird, bro.
Yeah, it's right there.
Actually, maybe this angle is not the best.
Here you go.
Just need to be very...
Yeah, I'll pull.
I just
So
need to
that
be
it'll-
very careful, especially once you realize
Once you make it through. See, now how easy is it going to be to cut that wing off? It won't break.
A lot easier. And if you really are worried, you can just... Oh. That's heating up. If you're really worried about breaking it, which...
Just cut as close to the sprue.
Yeah. And now the wing is separated.
And just take your regular these clippers or some other clippers, and I can pop that off real quick. You don't even have to really look, because these things are so perfect. Just file that off later. Maybe clip that off when I got my goggles on. Now I want to show you this one last thing that a lot of people were having trouble with.
Put this...
Right in my hot little hands. These pieces.
I, for some reason, didn't know why they were
You see these? If you're even going to use them, which I will never use them. Sorry, guys.
But
it's
I
just
can
a pain
actually
in the-
see them being used in other places.
You just boom, toss it to the side, pick it up later, and just keep going down.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that.
They do tend to want to stick to the blade because they're so small and light. That's why I got my hand right in there, but
It might burn itself.
it's
It's not like it's
just my hands.
Just your no.
And there you go.
I was gonna
See how
say
easy that
it's
was?
not
No
like it's hotter than a
twisting,
hot glue gun,
no
but
clipping.
it obviously is.
Obviously, let's put this.
Also,
over
we
here.
may or may not use these in other places.
Yeah. Now, you'll notice there's a little bit of sprue there, and if I have my goggles on, I can come in here and clip off that extra. I'm not going to risk messing it up.
Wait, let me see. I think that
There's very little sprue still attached to these
there's
things.
actually a decent amount, but there's a decent amount, but I don't think it's
You could file them, or you could clip them.
yeah.
But
So
there you have it.
and that has been
Tonight's episode of the Shadow and Sun Show. We're going to post this video up on Facebook, probably Instagram later, but we're going to start with YouTube. And I hope you guys found this tip handy. Hope you guys, relieve some of your stress on your clipping of clear pieces, because I know this is going to make my life a whole lot easier. I've got
To make
4 core sets.
it's a pretty easy
to go
life
through.
hack to make your life. No,
I've still got 3 or 4 more core sets to go through, and I was not looking forward to it. I didn't even want to do the free set that I got from Archon until I got this hot knife set up and had some practice with it. Now that I have, I'm ready to go. Hope you guys are too. Thanks for stopping by. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out, and we will see you guys Thursday for a really cool craft that was all the little guy's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his idea.
So, that has been tonight's episode of the Shadow and Sun Show. Remember, like, subscribe if you liked the video, and yeah, good night.
Good night, everybody.